The Orange County Board of County Commissioners recently moved forward with a vote in favor of Disney to build a 1,400-unit attainable housing development in Horizon West. Nearly every single District 1 resident that spoke out about this development was not in favor. Residents stood up to protest against the immense infrastructure problems already plaguing the area. So if all the residents were against it, and the commissioner of our district here in District 1 voted against it, then how did it pass? How did it pass without any additional conditions? And why were alternative sites totally off the table? The glaring answer is because our current commissioner has failed us again. And it is just another reason why I am running to be your next Orange County Commissioner here in District 1. My name is Austin Arthur, and I welcome you to this conversation as I break down this issue facing our residents and how we can do better. To fully understand what occurred and what could have occurred, we must first identify how the Board of County Commissioners actually function. It is a board of 6 commissioners and the mayor of Orange County. Each commissioner represents a certain area of the county. All commissioners vote on each of the issues surrounding the county. Now, that's regardless of the district they represent. They all have a vote on all the issues. Now, the mayor also has an equal vote, and he chairs the meetings. And our commissioner is supposed to represent our needs and desires to all the stakeholders, including the other commissioners. Now, if our commissioner fails to effectively perform in that role, then our interests are likely not to be heard, because every other commissioner has the role of looking out for the interests of their own districts. So we must have a commissioner that represents ours. All right, so a quick breakdown of what happened. Several years ago, Disney announced that they will be offering land for an affordable housing project on property that they owned. The issue is nearly every resident knows how bad our infrastructure is in Horizon West. And although many are for affordable housing, they simply feel we cannot handle a new development like this without improvements first to handle such an influx of traffic, not to mention schools. So our commissioner agreed. She agreed with the residents in saying no. But then why did it pass? Was it because of a big bad mayor who hates us? Selfish other commissioners? No. It was because of our commissioner. And this is not the first time. And trust me, I am no special pleader for the mayor or other commissioners. I just care about the truth. And we cannot keep making boogeymen and women out of other people in the conversation. We have to look at the sole person who was elected to represent us here in District 1, West Orange County. And we have to ask, why is it that things have gotten worse these nearly past 4 years? All right, so on the issue of this Disney project, let's take a look at what actually happened. How did the Disney project actually move forward, and where did the opposition fail? So as I alluded to, I have heard it stated that the mayor stole Wilson's customary right to make a motion. In other words, commissioners of the district typically are deferred to. They're given kind of a respect and saying, it's your district, go ahead and make a motion. And so here in this case, people are saying the mayor hoodwinked her or bullied her or stole her motion or something like that. But none of that is true. That is not what happened. She made a motion, and it failed for lack of a second. So the way this works is the commissioner makes a motion, and they follow what's called Robert's Rules of Order. Most boards follow this. And if nobody seconds that motion, then the motion fails. And the commissioner or somebody else on the board needs to make a new motion. Now, what I want to say is that this is something everybody that follows the commission knows. There has never been a commissioner that has had more of his or her motions fail for a lack of second than our current commissioner. There seems to be a total inability for this commissioner to get things through for our district. Now, this is what we call ineffectiveness. And I say this all the time. It is only step one to be on the right side of an issue. That's step one. The second and most important step is, can you deliver? Can you bring home the results for our residents? Who cares if our commissioner agrees with us on something if she can't get the job done? So it's great and swell if we all get along and we all agree, but if we continue to keep losing, well, then we need new leadership. All right, so let's see what happens when the mayor offers our commissioner a chance to make a motion, and she does.
Wilson, would you like to offer a motion?
I don't think we're at the point that this should be transmitted. There's just a lot of unanswered questions, and I feel really strongly about the fact that some of these are safety and welfare questions. So if I'm going to make a motion for this time to not transmit.
Can we make a motion to postpone so that we could try to work out some of these issues?
I would be willing to do that if the applicant was willing to postpone or continue or however that works.
Okay, so that's what actually happened. Wilson made a motion. It failed for lack of second. It was interrupted by Bonilla. An effective commissioner, determined to get a motion through, would have said, no, I'm sorry, I have a motion on the table and I'd like to see if we have a second. But Wilson did not do that. She waffled. And the conversation went on for several minutes. Now you can watch the whole video, and we will include that link in the description. But after a while of the back and forth, well, the mayor, he made a motion. This would be the second motion of this entire conversation. And this is why people, including Bonilla, say that they should be deferring to the district commissioner as is custom. But the fact is, they already did that. And Wilson failed to command the situation, and so the mayor commanded it.
Okay.
I'd like to
I'm going to make a motion to transmit. Is there a second?
No.
I made a motion. There's
This
a
is
second.
District 1, and I think we should defer to District 1.
We can have, listen, I tried to get a motion. I made a motion. There's a second by Commissioner Uribe. If there's any further discussion, otherwise, I'm going to call the question.
All right, so the mayor has a motion on the table. Now he's calling for discussion. This is the chance for our commissioner to implore her fellow commissioners, please vote this motion down. Please allow me to make another motion. This is my district. I know these residents, and I know the details of this issue. Please just simply vote this motion down so that I can make another. I'm ready to make that motion right now. Now, you need to handle it. You need to speak up. This is your opportunity. All right, so let's see how our commissioner defended the opposition.
If there's any further discussion, otherwise, I'm going to call the question. Okay. No further discussion. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. No. Opposed, no.
No, because I think we should postpone it. Because
That's
once you transmit,
two.
then
Commissioner Wilson,
they
did
say
I-
you
did you
can't
vote
change
no?
anything sometimes.
Commissioner Bonilla, you voted no.
No.
Okay, the
And I don't
motion
think it's fair
passes.
taking this away from the
The
community
motion
district
passes
welfare.
4-2.
Silence. Isn't it bizarre that the only one fighting was the District 5 commissioner? In the moment allocated for our commissioner to speak up against the motion that was on the table, she stood silent. She did not fight. Now, why? Did she know she was outvoted and just wanted to rip the Band-Aid off because she secretly supports the project, perhaps? Or is she so ineffective that she doesn't know how to manage herself on a board in a heated situation? Now, these are the questions we need to ask because what we know is that we are losing in District 1. Let's watch that moment again.
Any further discussion? Otherwise, I'm going to call the question. Okay. No further discussion. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
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 And so if you were wondering how this project was passed, now you know the truth. Do not believe the spin. Our commissioner has failed us once again. It has been happening for nearly 4 years now. And here's the other thing. If she knew that she could not have convinced the other commissioners to vote the project down, if she knew that all hope was lost on the vote, then why wasn't she working with Disney on concessions? Where are all the great infrastructure improvements that Disney is going to pay for due to our commissioner's great negotiation skills? Well, she has gotten us nothing for infrastructure improvements, but the project, the one that all the people were against, well, it still moves on. And just like all the other projects in District 1, they move on, and we get no improvements for infrastructure. This has been going on since she has been elected. We get the development anyway, even if she's against it, and we get no infrastructure improvements negotiated. The same thing almost happened in Gotha just a couple months ago. Our commissioner may have been on the side of the residents, but in that case, too, she was so ineffective. In that case, the motion that she made failed once again until the commissioner in District 2, Christine Moore, decided to change her vote, which was not at the convincing of our commissioner, quite the opposite. Our commissioner failed to articulate to Moore in the first place why this was a bad project for our district. Look, I am not trying to be nasty about Wilson. I am not trying to go negative, as they say. But I have to point out the reason why I am running. I have to highlight where she has failed us. This is the reason why we need change. We need a commissioner that can handle themselves on that board. And when the cards are stacked against us, we need a commissioner that can negotiate benefits for our residents. We cannot continue to develop and not put infrastructure first. My name is Austin Arthur, and I'm running to be your next Orange County Commissioner. I believe in community-driven leadership. I believe in working in partnerships for preservation. I believe in an infrastructure-first mentality. I am for small business owners, and I am for our residents because I am both. I believe we need effective, common-sense representation in Orange County, Florida's government. I hope you will join me at voteaustinarthur.com. That's voteaustinarthur.com. Together, we will work toward an effective, common sense Orange County.